Peace. In Lucky Shalakin, my friends, family, and kinfolk alike. I don't know. Yes, episode 2 of the podcast, and it is my second time recording the intro, so that's cool. I hope you enjoy it. It's me and my brothers, my family. It's people that inspire me, and I'm grateful to have these people around. But we just sit down, have a conversation, and enjoy it. At the end, there's also a. I'm gonna do this. At the end, there's also There's a special reveal, a cliffhanger of sorts. So make sure you stick around, and I'm gonna let y'all in, the ones that stick around, on some super secret, top tier CIA, not CIA. I don't know why I said it, but some cool information on something that you'll find out if you continue to watch till the end. But yeah, enjoy, and the sun's out today, so I feel good. Peace. Alright, God bless everybody. I hope everybody's doing good. Today we are here with some beautiful artists that I would like to introduce to you, and I'm gonna give them all some time to introduce themselves and what they're about. And firstly, how we're all feeling today, because in life, we all got shit going on, and it's important that we just meet up in these moments of peace and really just connect, right? And I feel like, for me personally, sometimes I forget how important community is and nurturing these connections with friends and even family. But so I hope this conversation, this just shared space, provides some light into whatever you're going through. And so my name is Tiago, and we have some amazing artists. Let's start with Chris, if you want to introduce yourself and what you're about.
Yo, what's up? It's Chris. I do music. I model, trying to become an actor. But at the end of the day, I'm just a human being with emotions, trying to not pretend to be perfect. So I'm here with my boys. We gather in like it's the final feast. Live every day like it's our last, and just be the best that I could be. It's Chris. Next to me is Lenny, homeboy from the Sandbox.
Hey guys, it's Lenny. It's a sunny day, and we're out here sitting on. I don't even know what this is, but I like it.
Yeah, I like it. This is my prized possession right here.
Canvas.
Yeah, we just chilling here. I'm trying to act like I don't want these fucking burgers right now. But yeah, that's it.
Yo, I'm Brian. I take pictures and shit. You know what I'm saying? And I wear hats. Try to wear cool hats. That's pretty much it. My boys, it's all love. It's very sunny, so I'm like, that's one time. So yeah, on to Carlos. It's beautiful. He had some.
My name is Carlos. I'm a photographer, overall content creator, and for those who don't know, I just recently got off of a traumatic injury that took a while to recover, but I'm finally here, and I'm with the boys, and it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah, per usual.
I do have some questions that I want to ask all of you. And I want to talk about art because, we're all creating and we all have a connection to that pretty deeply. So I want to ask, Brisk and Brian specifically, because I know very religious and have such strong faith. And I want to ask how God is connected to what you do and influences your creations and how you relate to what it is that you create.
I'll let Brian take the lead on this one. I feel like you have a bit of stronger faith than I do. Or at least he's more knowledgeable on the sense of.
Cool. Okay. So for me, at least, it's kind of something I haven't been implementing a lot in my art, which kind of sucks because I feel like the closer I get to God, I'm like, damn, but you're like in everything I do. So like, why don't I show that through my art sometimes? So as of recently, I have been realizing that I've been trying to find a way to implement God a lot more. or at least him to be the center of all my creations. But I haven't been doing that as much as I like to. But yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up because it made me realize that not so long ago, and I'm definitely working on that. But so far, I feel like I always try to really keep my work modest and creative. You know what I'm saying? I want to capture people's, I guess, eye, and in the process, kind of inspire them. Be like, yo, if he did that shit, I can do that shit. You know what I mean? That's always the mindset I want people to have. Like, be inspired by others, or inspire the next generation, or like others around you. So that's always something I really, really like. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much all I got for that. Yeah.
Fair enough.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the inspiring part because for me, more or less, I feel like it was always a kind of like battle of like knocking down that wall of really like letting it define who I was in a sense, and then also still trying to be my own like human. But for the most part, the way he's inflicted on my work is like really trying to push like his message, his morals, or the ideas of, because I'm still discovering, I'm still growing closer to him. So for the most part, I'm kind of just like giving my experiences through my music in a sense of like what I've gone through and how he's like made me the person that I am today. And to be honest, I think as I continue making art, the more that I see him in my brothers and in my life when I'm alone as well, is how I'll, continue to make my vision and dream a reality of kind of making an impact on the world in his name, by allowing him to really like use my vessel. And I'd say that's like my ultimate purpose here, to kind of, spread peace in his name. But I don't know.
Yeah. An idea
right now.
I don't know. I'm just guessing, bro.
We're just theorizing right now.
That's one thing that I've been really trying to embody, and it's been like a full surrender to like the divine will. And lately I've been finding myself, praying and meditating, every single morning, every single night. And, it's interesting because for me, I don't really fully call myself Christian or, Muslim or Buddhist or any of these things, but like I find myself praying to like Jesus, to God, to Allah, to all these different things. And from personal experience, I just know it just connects me deeper to me and to that source of like divine, And so what practices do any of you take to just connect deeper within yourselves so that you can, just show up in your light, in your truth? But even like what things do you do to even distract yourself? Because we all do that as well.
I'd say as men, video games is definitely a good way to distract ourselves. But as far as like what do I do to practice getting closer to my belief, I'd say I simply just live. I like to experience, like I'm always telling my family, you never know who you're gonna meet when you step out that door. And I've met some pretty cool folks by stepping out the door. You know what I mean? Like just showing up, as you said, like is the biggest importance out of all of it. The Bible is a big book, just like the Quran is, but for the most part, they're just principles. They're like a relationship with this idea of a higher being that is out of our understanding, So for the most part, I show up. That's my practice.
Yeah, I just smoke one weed.
So you learn.
For me, I think it's reading the Bible. I try to do it more on a daily basis now. I think it's a very enlightening book, because I feel like anything that you apply to in your life from the Bible, there's no way it can't benefit you in any way. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always going to bring you some type of enlightenment or some type of peace, no matter what it be. You know what I'm saying? So I think, the Bible is definitely a book, like any other book, but what it holds and what it can teach is definitely unlike anything else, for me.
Right, yeah. So, Liz, do you have anything that you want to share?
I think it's important to first destroy your ego. I think that's one of the most important things that I learned from this experience, from recovering my ankle injury, is that we tend to hold on to our egos, and sometimes our egos can lead us to things in life that are meant to destroy that. And it's what, as you mentioned before, it's about full surrender. You have to really fully surrender to whoever you believe in, God, blah, whoever you, because I feel like it's always been a struggle between, you know, does man have control or does God have control? And sometimes we don't always have the control, and sometimes we don't have the direction. So it's about who can point us to the right direction. It's up to your choice to be the black to trees, who you want that. So I think it's just important to just take every day by day, be grateful. You can wake up one day, and then not every day is the same. So, and I feel like sometimes we get, as humans, as society, we sometimes tend to forget about that. We get too caught up in the rush and the routine and the struggles that sometimes we forget to take a moment and realize that, you know, just breathe in and be grateful that you're alive. Sometimes, you know, we tend to forget that. And they'll be going in the snap.
Speaking of, y'all want to eat this shit?
Yeah. Never fucking.
So there's 4 burgers on this spot.
Yeah, y'all can.
And then you guys want to decide who eats what? Chef?
One.
Have your loved ones ever struggled with walking and sometime you can't be there? Today we have Toxicare.
Question the pill or don't. We've got your money either way. Toxicare.
Yeah. Fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. My name is Mikey, you know. I'm Spider-Man. I'm a porn star. I'm Johnny Sins' barber. I voted for Kanye. I'm Batman. Where's Rachel? So my name is Mikey. I make music. I'm a rapper. I make music. I'm 22 years old from New York, Long Island. Part of a group. We do our thing. You know, you've seen them in this video. Here's some of my artwork that has been placed here for y'all to see. This is Johnny Sins. I cut his hair on the weekends. He's my best friend. We go golfing every other day. But, yeah, man, there's nothing else I can really say.
I said, fuck you, young nigga.
Side effects of Toxicare may include, but are not limited to, temporary relief followed by permanent dependency, an intense desire to invest in stocks you'll never understand, spontaneous growth of a third eyebrow, bouts of paranoia about what's actually in the pills, feeling like you're in a never-ending subscription model, a strong sense of nostalgia for when healthcare was cheaper, sudden appreciation for goat yoga, don't ask us why, and, in rare cases, full acceptance of our legally ambiguous policies.
Oh, I got balloons. That's cool. But hey, it was good. So, I want to talk about the meaning of that ad, right? And that was a mock advertisement in a way to creatively advertise one of my homies because he's an artist, right? But also tell a story. And that story is about the current medical and healthcare industry that is running in the United States. And it's actually really funny that right now I'm making this little video because I'm currently at a hospital. And like I was saying, though, the
Healthcare industry that we are currently existing in, the paradigm is profit-driven, right? And it's not just healthcare, it's clearly profit-driven because, I mean, when we look at the commercials that are constantly on television, that's actually 75% of the pharmaceutical company's ad budget is spent on national TV commercials. That's a lot of money going into marketing for pills that are not even being prescribed from your doctor solely because they will help you. They're being prescribed from your doctor because the doctor views these commercials on the TV so that now he's aware of these drugs. And it's literally just money. He's only aware of these drugs because of money. He or she. Only because of money. It's not because these are the right things for you. No, it's because who has the most money. And then you also think at like the level of, alright, so for example, a very common drug are SSRIs, right? So like antidepressants. And antidepressants actually cause a sort of emotional blunting. And just to think about what that does on a collective level, if people are taking a specific prescriptive drug to regulate and numb and suppress the heightened sensitivity of their emotional capacity, and they're numbing that creates a desensitized collective. And if there's a desensitized collective, then we're less reactive to major shifts in the world and major we're a lot less likely to take action when things are not right. I mean, we're all aware at this point that there's war happening on Earth. We're aware that there are children in the battlefields. We're aware that there are children in mines that are being child labor to create and get cobalt for every single piece of technology that we use. We're aware of this, but we're desensitized as a collective so that we don't take action. And it's not only in the drugs, but that's a big part of it too, you know? And that's what this ad is about, so I'm going to be sticking to that line of thought for now. And another thing is, like, these prescriptive drugs and these SSRIs are not getting at the root of the issue. It's like putting a Band-Aid on a waterfall, or putting a Band-Aid on an amputee. Like, alright, you covered up something that might not look the best, but it doesn't take away from the fact that somebody just got their hand cut off, you know what I mean? Like it's not actually getting to the root of the issue. I don't know if that was a great example. It's so interesting because, I mean, birth control too, it's like that shit really fucks up a woman's entire cycle and ability to be in rhythm with nature and understand her body and understand and be in tune with, you know, her intuition and things like that. And these are prescribed because of a headache, you know, and SSRIs as well are prescribed because of nothing. And I mean, they're prescribed because of, like, certain traumas that people have that lead them to have anxiety or depression and things like these, but it doesn't go to the root of the issue. And not only that, but not only is it not getting to the root of the issue, but it's a constant way for them to continue to make money and profit off of people, right? Now, there have been studies done that really prove alternative medicines, for example, psychoactive mushrooms, right? There have been studies that have been done that it helps veterans with their PTSD, it helps treat depression, but the thing about it is that it's not yet been able to be profited off of from the government, and the reason for that is because you take these things and it gives you this entire experience to where you're going very much internally and experiencing a lot of the wounds and a lot of the traumas that you've been carrying, and it makes you face them. And that's what a lot of people think a bad trip is, but that's what it is, and then it gives you the opportunity to transcend that and move beyond that and find a new meaning, a new identity, and a new way of moving and operating. But that's you take it once and then you have that experience, and then you just work on the integration part of that. So how are you going to make money off something that you only need to take once? But not only that, it's natural. It's a mushroom, you know, it's a plant. Like, you can grow this. You know what I mean? It's not something that's made in a factory, so it's not something that they can really hold to themselves and be like, this is ours, you can't put a trademark on it, you know what I mean? So there's that. Now, there's also, you know, the fact that the entire healthcare industry is so expensive. But, you know, all that to say is that we, as a collective, need to start thinking for ourselves, thinking more critically and questioning the systems that we choose on a day-to-day basis, you know, and understand where they come from, what's the root intention of the things that are shaping the world, because it's looking at the root and working on that's going to really create change if you just look at the root of the issues, man. But anyway, that's my little talk. I got to get back to work.
Y'all can just choose anything.
Deck them out like
Carlos, Brian, y'all share that.
Perfect bond. You want the slice?
You start hitting all the layers.
You get the bottom button. You get.
So I want to see what these burgers are about. So how did you make these burgers? So there's no meat in this.
Yeah, no, I'll explain the process actually.
But it's actually something's telling me this is gonna taste like meat. Okay.
Yeah, so basically what I did was I put a lot of beans.
I'm not gonna lie, nigga, just eat half and give me.
There's black beans, kidney beans, garbanzo beans, lima beans. Mash those up, put some garlic, granules, just a bunch of different things to make these.
Okay, Tiago, but this is a really good burger.
It's good? Okay.
It looks like a really good burger.
Enjoy. Yeah. We got some mayo, cucumbers, tomato, lettuce. Oh, beets. Beets is a key ingredient.
I'm impressed.
It's okay.
That's funny.
I'm literally impressed.
Yeah? Okay, good. I put in some love. I put in some love for this food. But it's got a lot of protein, so it'll help us with our recovery. Beets as well to help blood flow.
So there's no meat in this?
No meat in that.
This is pure...
Yeah. Not to say I don't eat meat, but... Yeah, I guess... I'm not sure. Well, there's mayo in there.
Plant-based.
Plant-based, yeah. Plant-based stuff. Just food at the end of the day.
Wow. Wow.
No, shit is fire. Very healthy. Yep.
You really don't like tomato?
That's crazy. You like fruit?
Yeah, I like fruit. That's a good nigga.
Also, want to open up like our conversation to anything y'all want to talk about too. What's been going on in your lives and like fucking anything.
I'd say where I'm at right now, I'm definitely preparing for the inevitable, which is, I feel like, the negative side of, like, you know, the industry that we're kind of in. Eventually, like, we've kind of just been doing our own thing for so long, it gets hard for people to ignore you. And I feel like that comes with a lot of attention. And there's going to be certain parts of, like, a normal life that we're probably going to end up missing. And, you know, ultimately, I'm kind of just walking in God's steps to try and, like, prepare to, like, fight for my peace. You know, because I feel like you reach a certain level where a lot is expected of you, and you almost fall back into, like, maybe, like, subtle patterns of, like, people pleasing. But for the most part, you know, I've learned that it's really about you at the end of the day. You know, the more and more people that are in your circle, I saw a post, it was like, that's more people that are going to help you spend your money. So for the most part, there's going to be a lot of people that are trying to get into our circle, and I feel like it's ultimately up to the people that we decided to keep into our lives, to keep in our lives, you know, to stay sturdy and, like, what's best for ourselves and the people that we surround ourselves with. You know? And it's like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but, like, amongst friends instead of, like, a place.
You know, I've definitely been going through, like, a period in my life where I'm learning to be a lot more reserved in how and where and why and when I use my energy, especially when it comes to, like, giving that out to, you know, people and things that don't necessarily reciprocate that and can fully see me in the love and the light that I do share with them. And, you know, a lot of that came in the form of me, you know, posting and doing a lot on social media for a while. You know, I was kind of getting into a rhythm where I was, like, trying to be very consistent with that, but in a sense of trying to prove to myself that, you know, that this is something that is going to move me forward versus just being way more intentional. You know, I was just not being intentional, you know. And
sometimes we get a little caught up with the outcome instead of enjoying the process.
Yeah, that was definitely it, for sure.
Or kind of like how it is nowadays with a lot of art, it's kind of ingenuine or disingenuine because it has really become like a popularity contest.
Right.
You know, nobody's really doing it for the love of what they do anymore. It's kind of just like, oh, I just want to create because I want likes, I want followers, I want money, I want fame.
That was it, honestly. Because it was like a way of thinking, like, if I continue to post, like, this much and continue to put myself out there, then that will lead to, like, quote unquote success. But, like, you know, after going through something with somebody to where I was giving out so much love and energy and ended up getting fully, you know, cut off from that entire connection, I was like,
Is this a relationship?
it was a connection. It wasn't a relationship, but it was definitely a thing to where I cared about someone and that was not respected, honestly.
So this person did not respect?
No, did not respect me. And, you know, that taught me so much, and I'm so grateful for it.
What's one of them secrets you learned?
Discernment about, like, where I and who I give my energy to. Like, just crazy discernment.
I love
it. Like, that's the biggest word. Like,
what is discernment to you?
That's a great question. Intention. I would say with any connection that I have, I want to make sure it's with the intent, like the intention of where I would like and want to surrender my life to, which is, you know, the divine. And I feel that I have a pretty comfortable understanding of why I'm here. And if I'm not really following through with that understanding and using my energy in that way, then I just will kind of fall into a pattern of letting myself go, you know, and distracting and losing myself. And that was in the form of like different connections and things like that, but on social media.
Yeah, social media is really taking over. I feel like art, in a way. You know, art is really a way of life. It's the creativity of, you know, our inner child and the imagination that we were gifted with. But a lot of people have been conformed to society in the sense of like, we need all these things. We need to have certain experience or else we didn't have a good life. When in reality, life is what you make it. Life is all about finding your own peace, not making other people's peace. But that's the beauty of art. It's what we do it for. It's more or less because we can inspire other people to find their peace. And I don't know, I think that's a little bit of what keeps me going, you know, the fact that God woke me up. I can make an impact, not only on myself, but somebody else, you know, like you were literally just saying when we were racing that, excuse me, like I kind of like set the standard of strength that you kind of want to be at in a sense of like, because that's what you've been shown, you know, almost like when we grow up, like our parents are kind of our role models. That's why we become the way that we do. And then once we start growing up, like teenagers into adults, it's really like, who are we hanging around? You know, show me 5 of your friends and I'll show you who you are. But
What you trying to say, man?
I'd say we're pretty good friends. You know? Yeah. Influence and attention go really hand in hand nowadays. And you do have to have discernment in order to be wary of who you're giving your attention to, because you don't know their intentions. So attention is also currency nowadays, not only with videos and reels and shorts, but with what we do, music. You know, like we got to keep people's ears awake. No pun intended. I'm here to kiss ass and make apologies, but I was. Yeah, famous funny bar, but heavy on the intention and attention nowadays.
Money, what was your intention with your recent album?
What was my intention?
Yeah. I love it, bro. It's really good.
My intention, I feel like as a upcoming artist, it's really important to build a portfolio with each, because before that, I only had like 4 songs out and they were all really old. So like I just need to put like a body of work out with that I was satisfied with some solid tracks on there, so people can, or whoever supports it, could just have a little more. Because if I kept going the route that I was doing, where I was like, what, release a single every few months, that's not gonna, it's not gonna really help. So yeah, and yeah, I guess that's it. Who gets out?
Tired, sir.
And Carlos, also, you're in Thai with a 3-month, I don't know, how would you call it?
Hiatus,
Yeah.
hibernation,
That's what I was
recovery.
like a limbo space, maybe?
I think it was. I think I would consider that period of my life a reset.
Let me see. Yeah, you want to explain like what happened, the entire process?
Okay.
I think there's a lot of good.
So 3 months ago, I was out with you guys. You know, just a regular night. I remember I did Brian. I'm like, well, what you guys doing? And he was like, oh, we're like on pull out, so I pulled up. Thought it was any other day, like any other day. And then the guys were like, want to go out for us, want to go out night riding. And you know what's the funny thing? Like, I remember when I walked outside to my vehicle, I felt my right vehicle. Like, I felt something. I was like, I want to say, it was just like a feeling there, like a snap. It was like, I didn't listen to myself. That's where I messed up. And then we got to the skate park. And we were just hanging out, just, laughing. And then next thing you know, I just remember, like, when we just hopped on the skateboard, I didn't really think twice about what was happening. Like, I was like, let me see if they're still got it, forgetting about how I felt earlier. And I think the biggest lesson that I learned there was I didn't think twice, because, again, I felt something earlier in my ankle. And then, so because I wasn't thinking twice, I decided to go down a small ramp thinking that I could take it, not understanding that I haven't skateboarded probably 10 years. And the rest was history after that. So in 3 months, I was dealing with an injury. My life was on pause for 3 months. Couldn't go anywhere, couldn't drive anywhere. I needed a lot of help. And it got very tough for a while. Didn't know where I was. Didn't know when. I couldn't really see when the end goal was or where the light of the tunnel was. So all I could do was just surrender, accept the situation. Sometimes I remember like when that happened, and afterwards the next couple of days when I had to find out I needed to do surgery, it was almost in a way I was kind of like too focused, too bent on like, I want to get back to normal. I want to get back to normal. I want to get back to normal. I want to go back. I want to go back. I want to go back. And unfortunately, the reality is there was no such thing as going back. Mm-hmm. There was no such thing as going back. There's no going back to normal. It's creating a new normal. Yeah. So moving forward, I had to keep that in mind and just surrender and just be like, you know what? It is what it is. This is what happened. It's no one's fault. It's a freak accident. It happens. Shit happens. What are we gonna do about it? It's how we move forward. It's how you pick yourself back up. And the only way out is through. So I definitely learned, the most important thing I learned is patience. That's definitely something that I really, really, really struggled with before this injury happened. Just patience. Kind of too. Sometimes, I get too. I felt like I was always like everything to me felt very easily attainable. Like, get things done fast, whether it be getting the photo shoot done fast, getting the product done fast, or going to the gym and like working out 5-6 days a week, trying to get the body of your dream. I mean, like, not really taking this moment to just slow down and, appreciate how far you've come. So that's really what's the most important thing that I learned. And the second thing, as I mentioned earlier, was killing the ego. And just taking each day and just be grateful for being alive and so I want to say being alive and being very appreciative. It reminded me of my mortality. Yeah, space. The Bible says our body is a temple, and I feel like we gotta remember that. But when you break an ankle, you break a bone, you break anything. It's like breaking a car. You break a car, you think it's, and you can fix it, but is it the same? Same thing with our bodies, in a way. So a bit of wear and tear, but I feel like God gifted us with the ability to make it strong. He does. Because any setback is a setup for a comeback. I learned that from I also felt like this injury was in a way a spiritual death. I feel like the person I was before this injury is doing right.
How long is his leg?
Maybe 2 inches. But yes, I think prior to the injury, what it was prior to the injury, it's almost like that person died, and then who I've become now after this injury is reborn. It's almost like it was very calamic. I don't know if that's the correct word, calamic. And I'm just grateful that I'm out now. Like I'm here, I'm outside. It'd be for your birthday, so that's pretty. It's also my birthday. Well, yesterday was. And thank you.
Yes, happy birthday.
And it just gave me a new mindset to approach life more presently, more logically, more cognitive. I don't know how to say it, but more cognitive. Just a lot more self-aware, and then just most of them just letting go, like, you know, and like don't judge, be less judgmental, and more happy. I feel like I'm more happy now. I've been into more like I surrender and now that the higher man above me. You continue.
There's so much freedom.
I tried to take the wheel before this, and look where it got me. Now
yeah,
here.
literally
All right,
crash.
here. Here, because it's. I felt like, you know, to me personally, I felt like it, I felt like it was almost like, do I want to say it was punishment? Do I want to say it was like a form of punishment? You could say that. I did felt that way. It was like, was this a way of like life, God, the universe punishing me? Maybe you could say that, but these are opportunities, and life is never going to be easy. Like life's never going to be the same. But things have to happen for us to grow. So,
I actually have a question for you, T.
Yeah, ready to
At the crib. What is it that you're training for?
It's a great question. I like it. For me, for the world, I think for what's to come, you know, like just to. I think it's just only natural. So
Bye guys. Bye vlog.
there you go.
Well, I mean, I'm not leaving, but
see you.
I think it's just natural that expansion and contraction are just a part of, you know, this human universal experience. And you can view it as training, the expansion part, and you can view it as training, the contraction part. It is at the end of the day just a surrender. Oh, there's a cat over there. But
I think, put an analogy on it, it's like preparing for the inevitable, and also being able to accomplish what is needed of you when there's either danger or opportunity in front of it.
right.
Obviously, you're intellectual and you're very fit, so it's kind of like everything physically and everything intellectually, like conversations, making opportunity, business, just collabing with people, like, you know, that it takes a segue to get there. And then also it takes a little bit of humanity, but then also when you have the physical strength of, like, for example, taking in all the groceries at once or whatever, you know, like you're well equipped with everything,
Right.
because you've surrendered most times and made yourself better.
Right.
Strength is very important all around.
It's very. I also feel like the times that we're living in right now is just like things are changing so quickly. So quickly. And
I mean, Marvel really has the main script for them, so yeah.
Who can? You said who?
Marvel.
Who can make their own movies? Marvel? You said?
No, like Marvel had AI, right?
Right.
That's why most of the TV series I feel like this. Well,
Yeah, they're not what they used to be. No.
I understand their setups for like the big major events that they're coming out with. So I don't know if Deadpool had AI rather than script, whoever wrote that thing.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen Deadpool? Oh.
No, not the recent one.
What?
Yeah, I haven't seen
Like,
that one.
not even the first one?
The first one I've seen.
Okay,
The second one? Not the second one. Not the second one.
The second one.
Is good?
Yeah, because bro, the first one they only had like 17 million for their budget.
Yeah, and it gets so much better. You gotta see the last one.
Is there a third?
Yeah.
There's a third, and that's the one that came out recently. Oh, Wolverine. That's right. Yeah.
The third one.
Speaking of superheroes, I feel like I could play anyone. Wolverine's a great one. I feel like I have the lead with like Spider-Man, the Mysterious and Darkness of like Batman, Body of Superman. I don't know, maybe some CGI Hulk, Punisher, Tiger, Captain America. I don't know. It's just something I do. Big role.
Speaking of, I've been actually working on creating a sort of, like, I've had this idea for a while for a film and photo shoot concert. And I wanted to ask if you guys wanted to, help out with the creation of it. And then I've been working on creating like an outline for it as well. It's called a metamorphic war. Metamorphic war.
Define metamorphic in your terms.
It's kind of about how through pressure, it creates that metamorphosis. Like kind of like a butterfly, but also a rock. How metamorphic rock is built through the pressures of the external environment that creates something beautiful. Hello. So, yeah, that was the big reveal. Metamorphic War is a short film that I will be creating with the homies, and I don't know when that'll be out. Probably not for a minute because got a lot going on at the moment. But in the future, I'm very excited for this first ever real film that I'll be creating. So yeah, stay tuned, and that'll be dropping on this channel eventually. But until then, there will be a bunch of podcasts and a bunch of different things that I'll be working on. But it's just a little teaser, I guess. But yeah, anyway, I hope you like the podcast, and until next time, peace.